Did you have a high revenue Etsy shop that is now crashing and burning? Are your Etsy sales down right now? In the last year, I have seen hundreds of higher revenue Etsy shops that used to do anywhere between $10,000 a month to over $100,000 per month, and now they are seeing decreases of 60 to 80% year over year. What is going on, and what should you do if your sales are down right now? In today's video, I'm going to talk about what an Etsy shop should do and shouldn't do when their sales drop. And I'm going to do this so that you don't make the same mistakes that I see hundreds of Etsy sellers making right now. If you're new here, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan Jarris, and I'm an Etsy seller of over 7 years. I've sold over $1.5 million in revenue on the platform, and that's over $1 million in actual profit. I worked for big companies like Zappos and Zulily, so my expertise is really on the product development, pricing strategy, planning, forecasting, marketing side of things. And in the last year, my company and I have taught over 1,500 Etsy sellers how to scale their businesses. For today's video specifically, I want you to leave a comment, and I want you to put last year's revenue from Etsy and this year's revenue. The idea for this video came to me last week. I was talking to a print-on-demand Etsy seller who sold primarily wall art. She was used to doing $12K to $15K per month in revenue, and then all of a sudden her sales dropped to $4,000 per month. Huge drop, tanking. This shop owner was panicked because this was her full-time income for 2 years. She had opened her shop in 2021 and she started getting sales with very little effort. So everything was going okay until now. I walked away from this conversation with some very interesting takeaways because I've helped thousands of Etsy sellers turn around their shops in the last year, and I see some big commonalities that will either lead to success or failure. So if you're in the position where your sales are down, I want to give you a game plan of things you can do to turn things around. And there's 7 big things I'm going to cover today. So number 1, do not rely on your listings from 2021 and 2022 to carry you through to 2023 and 2024. If your best sellers this year are the same best sellers that you had 2 to 3 years ago, we probably have a lot of missed opportunity here. I would actually call this a big problem. Trends change. The competition is going to start chasing your best sellers, and influencers who create these market leader opportunities have moved on to influencing people with other aesthetics and trends. So typically people who find themselves with their sales down, they're usually relying on things that worked for them in the past, and they're hoping that they're going to continue working for them now and in the future. They get lost when these things stop working. And this leads me to point number 2. Point number 2 is to look outside of Etsy for trends. By the time a trend gets to Etsy, you are 6 months behind. And at that point, you're honestly just chasing trends. And I guarantee you will not snap back from a 60 to 80% decrease in your revenue by chasing Etsy trends. To make a comeback like that, you really have to have market leadership. So a lot of these shops that have huge decreases are oftentimes carrying on with trends that were popular 3 to 5 years ago, and they're not keeping up with current aesthetics. All right, number 3, if you are in this situation of decreased sales, do not wait it out. This is the saddest thing to me. I see shops who have like a 60 to 80% decrease year over year, and they think maybe it's just a fluke. Maybe they just need to give it more time. So they decide to just wait it out and see what happens. To me, it's really sad because it feels like the Titanic is sinking, right? And they're like waiting for a lifeboat, and it's just not going to happen. We usually see it just gets worse and worse and worse. Sometimes we can tell that the person most likely just ended up having to go get a full-time job somewhere else, and that they're likely not doing Etsy full-time anymore. To me, it's really sad to see someone going from a thriving business owner to, having to go work for someone else because of inaction. To be a fast-growing, resilient business, you cannot always be reacting. It's a really fast way to fail, so you always have to stay proactive. So even if you're a shop with, 80,000 sales and you see a decrease for a few weeks, then it's really time to snap back with strategies that will get you your first 5,000 orders really quickly. It's kind of like jump-starting a car. You just have to maintain those strategies for at least the next 2,000 sales. Number 4, when your sales are decreasing, you have got to make some decisions. Not making a decision is making a decision to accept the status quo. And that status quo is that the house is burning down. You have got to decide to pivot, to change up your strategies, to add new products, to get rid of old products, to go onto new social platforms, norms. And depending on how bad the decrease is in your sales, you don't want to just do one small change at a time. You might not have the luxury of time to do that. All right, number 5, if your sales are decreasing right now, I recommend that you probably will need an SEO overhaul. So the Etsy SEO strategies of 2017 to 2021 do not work anymore. You have got to get your listings updated, even your bestsellers. If you don't keep your bestsellers updated, they might not be bestsellers for long, and they might easily peak and then go down. Most of these shops who are seeing a 60 to 80% decrease in their revenue have broken SEO, which leads me to number 6. Do not pay someone on Fiverr to do your SEO. Please don't do that. If this person on Fiverr has not personally used these strategies to build a 7-figure or even 6-figure shop from zero, I would not recommend letting them put their hands on your SEO. I actually recommend never having someone do something in your shop that has not personally worked for them in the past before. And the reason I say they should have experience is because you need growth strategies here. You don't need maintenance strategies. You need proof that the strategies that will be going into your shop have actually led to huge growth before. And it has to be the type of growth that you're actually looking for, not just like a 5% improvement here and there. It's probably not enough, and it's probably not worth the investment. People on Fiverr, it's really difficult to see exactly what the results of their past work has been, because sometimes they will come into a shop that is already 6 or 7 figures, do the SEO for it, and it might have helped, it might have hurt, might have just maintained the results, but you need to see the percent change before and after their work. Number 7, I recommend opening a second shop to be your playground. And this playground is going to be where you test strategies, because you really need to have a point of comparison here. The caveat is that I would only do this if you're still making a minimum of 10K per month. If you're not making 10K per month still, then I would not do this because it would dilute your efforts. What is the purpose of a second shop? It's a place to test things. What we need to know is, do your products suck, or is it your strategies? If you need help with this, please reach out. My team and I work around the clock. We're literally a global team working all over the world to help you with your shops. That way, there's never the confusion of, I wonder if I'm doing this right, or I wonder what I could be doing better. If you would like us to roll our sleeves up and get into your shop and help you, just reach out. You can schedule a call with us below with the link to learn more about what the process even looks like. We could even take you behind the scenes and show you exactly how it works. Don't forget to leave a comment with your revenue last year and this year, and then I'll see you guys in the next video.